Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Now coming on to the core concepts. Guys, when I talk about core concepts, first of all, we'll have to understand what is cloud computing. I'm sure a lot of people would know already, but if there is anyone who wants to talk on that, I will be very happy. At least I'll have an idea that you know how many of you know about cloud computing. When I talk about core concepts, guys, the most important part to know or understand is what is cloud. Because this is a new I would not say this is a new buzz. It's been there for last 20 years. Last 20 years, there has been a lot of organization which is using and they're not telling it in the market that they are using it, but they have moved on to they have moved a lot of applications on the cloud. And cloud is going to be the future technology as well. Now, why it is going to be the future technology? Because of the principles that it follows. Cloud computing is basically a model in which you do not own anything. Like how you rent an apartment, the same way. You're only using the services when it is required. If you don't need it, you can stop it and that's it. You don't need to be owning it. That's the best part of it, because you save a lot of money in that. Next part, what are the different type of services which cloud computing gives you? Cloud computing gives you all the traditional services which you think, which you want, but again on the subscription basis. It has three basic pillars of your technology. One is called as IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service. Then the second model is basically, or second pillar, is called as PaaS, PaaS platform as a service. The third model is called as SaaS, SaaS software as a service. Now, where Workday falls in the third pillar of cloud computing, which is your software as a service. The company has built a software which is on cloud, we call a software or an application, and they're selling that application to all the customers, all the companies, to use it as per their requirement. We will try to see all infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service one by one to give and understand. How exactly does that work? When we talk about infrastructure as a service, what comes in infrastructure? Your servers, you need a database, you need a middleware, basically to run any enterprise application. These three things are required. A platform where you can develop things. All these things are again provided on virtual machines. These virtual machines are basically your servers. It will be provided to you in case you want to stop or start any service. Let's say I have a requirement of 30 terabytes of space. I would need and I want that 10,000 of my employees can share that system. This is what my requirement is. Now, if you go ahead and buy that space, or if you buy a machine which has that much of space and all these 10,000 employees login you will be able to create, it will cost you a huge amount of money. And you have to maintain that as well in your premises. That is a big cost. In order to avoid that, companies like Amazon, what did they do? They built an application. They built a server which can be accessed virtually. Now that is the reason you call it as AWS. AWS is nothing but a server which is situated all over the globe. It is called as Amazon Web Service. If you have to access anything on the web, because all the applications and everything, all the infrastructure is available on internet, you need a web connection to do it. They have installed or set up different data centers all across the globe. If you talk about US, they will have 4 to 5 data centers in US. You will have 1 or 2 in Canada. Some are 1 or 2 in South America. If you go to the European region, there are 4 to 5 in European region. You come to APAR, you will have 1 in China. In fact, 2 in China and 1 in India, 1 in Singapore, 1 in Australia, 1 in New Zealand. In this way, they have distributed their data centers. Now they're big servers. In fact, you can think that they have 100, 1000, you can say terabyte of spaces in one data center. And in fact, one server. Data centers consist of 100, 200, 500 servers also. That is huge amount of capacity that they're giving. And that's the reason everyone nowadays is moving towards such providers. Those infrastructure is basically called as virtual machines. You need a server, you pay for it. Just take the services when your requirement is over, hand it over back to them. I'm sorry, you don't have to pay extra for that. You don't have to keep anything with you. They can go ahead and just recycle it, and again they will give it to somebody else. That's how exactly it works. All your infrastructure, everything is available on cloud. This is where the things have become different than traditional systems. That is your infrastructure as a service. Then comes platform as a service. What is? In this, we would not know what is the infrastructure which they're using. Let's say someone who is a PaaS provider. IBAS also is a PaaS provider. They are also a PaaS provider. In fact, I'll give you certain examples for infrastructure as a service. If you have to look for major players in this area who provides the services, AWS is one, then you have Microsoft Azure, then you have Google Cloud, then you have Oracle Cloud. But these are not limited to this. You know, there are a lot of people, not people, but I would say a lot of organization who has come into this area and they're giving spaces in the local countries also. These are global players, but you will see, let's say for UK there is specific provider. They will only provide you space only in UK because of certain regulations and policies like GDPR. Some companies like financial transactions, they can only keep their data in the country and they would prefer no. I will need somebody who is a UK company. They will be a local cloud provider in UK. That happens in European region as well. Same way if you come to India, there is also the same kind of policy. You cannot go ahead and keep the data of Indian customers outside of India. They need a system somewhere here. You will get these infrastructures available here. Then when we talk about the PaaS model in this, the infrastructure is on cloud, but they will not tell you what infrastructure is being used. They will give you just a platform. Example is Salesforce. Have you heard about this name, Salesforce? Salesforce is a world global, or you can say the world's #1. Raman. Their CR is basically a platform where you can develop your own solutions. Now what infrastructure they are using, we would not know. Are they using the data center of Amazon? I don't know. We don't know. If they have their own infrastructure, we don't know. This infrastructure part is not visible to anybody. Only the platform will be given to you where you can go ahead and develop anything of your choice. If you want to build an app, you can do that. You want to build a particular tool, you can go ahead and do that, provided you know the development tools and languages which they're using. Now, what could be these development tools and language which they are using? What does that mean? Salesforce has their own development tool. They have their own database. They have their own language called Apex, Visual Force and Lightning. These are the things they would need that you can develop anything on that platform. Windows is a platform. Nowadays, Windows has also gone on to cloud. Now, if you are developing a solution which is Windows specific, then you will have to put it in such a way that it will only work on Windows. How can you do that? That is the power of the platform. It gives you certain products like sales, cloud service, cloud marketing cloud. All these things works on that platform. They're interconnected and you can use it like a CRM. That is how your platform comes into picture. Similarly, AWS, Google Cloud, Oracle, Azure, they also provide the platform, but you would know that they will be using what infrastructure? Microsoft will be using its own infrastructure. AWS will be using their own infrastructure, but if you want to buy that infrastructure also, they are there to provide you. But Salesforce would not be able to give you that infrastructure, but it gives you only the platform. If you have a requirement that you only need platform, then you can go for Salesforce rather than going with AWS or Azure. That's how the market is growing. Then comes the third model, which is SaaS model, which is software as a service. If you have any application which is hosted on any cloud, we will not know what is the infrastructure that is being used. We will not know what is the platform where this application has been developed. Our tool that we are going to study, which is Workday, we don't know on which platform has this been developed. We don't know where is the data center located. We don't know what is their database. We don't know what is the front end or the middleware which they're using. We don't know any of this. We have got an application like you have got Microsoft Office. You want to use it for your office purpose, your document, your Excel sheets and everything. You can use it. Similarly, Workday has been built in such a way that it gives you all the features ready, made available. You just need to configure it as per your requirement and you are good to use that. This is the reason why this product is again expanding in market, because your lot of cost is reduced. Now I'm going to walk you through or show you the Workday tenant, guys, because that is something which you would need to understand what and how are we going to use it. Just bear with me for a minute. This is our tenant that we will be using. Let me walk you through some of the options that you see here. This is my home. Let's say I'm anywhere in the system. Let's say I'm seeing my pay slips. I'm just giving you an example. I'm here somewhere. I'm looking at this particular company. And then this particular company has many members, security groups. All these things are there. But I really don't want to go back. But I really want to go back directly to my home screen. What I will do, I'll just push this button. I'll go back into home screen all. Let's say I have to complete this activity. I'm doing some like a signed pay group for Hire John Edward. You see, this is like an inbox for you. You see this as an inbox. Inbox is a feature which is given by Workday where your corporate email ID like Let's say you work in Microsoft. Your ID or email ID will be like, maybe Ravi at Microsoft.com. Now that email ID will also be configured with your Workday. Whatever emails you are going to receive which is related with Workday, you will get it on your corporate email ID as well. But let's say you are a manager and one of your employee has applied for a leave. You will get a notification on your inbox. This inbox plus your main inbox, which is your corporate email, ID to go ahead and approve the leave or reject it, whatever you want to do. That is how exactly it works. That's the reason we call this as inbox. You see this? This is the icon for your inbox. There are 12 items which is there for this user who is called as Steve Morgan. All these are listed here. If you look into this, this is the first one. If you go into this, this is the second one. Create Workday account for AJ Kumar. Create Workday account for Pankaj Kumar. All these are what? Tasks. How will you do it? You need to know how to do it. Then only you will be able to perform it. It comes like a notification, but you see, when you go into this, it got refreshed. I'm just trying to show you that if you have this number of tasks that you need to perform, it will be there in your inbox till you complete it. If I submit it, it will not allow me because this is a mandatory field. Let's say I want to do something like assign ADP China and I'm going to submit it. I don't know if it will allow me or not, but let's see. See, it says success. Event submitted, next payroll partner approval by payroll partner. Now, if you see, the number of tasks has reduced to 11. That's how exactly it works. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.